right through it.
What do you want to see out of him this spring and continue to see progression?
You know, I listen. Chad's a pro. I think with Chad, he just has to continue to refine his game. There's, for Chad, I think he's got the weapons. He's got great pitchability. He's got a feel to change speeds. He's got natural movement on his fastball and his changeup that I like. For him, hit spots, change speeds, keep the ball down, get his grounders. He's got a tremendous ground ball rate. Elevate the ball certain times during the course of his outings. But, I need to see pitch count built. Go through a spring training healthy and feeling good about his game.
When he was having a pretty good season last year before the blisters,
right.
Everything cropped up. Is that a concern from coaching staff?
Well, hey, and I'll say this. I say this often. I'm always concerned about everybody, about blisters, about health, about pitchers' arms, position players. Yeah, we always worry, because health is such a critical part of what we do. We need our best players on the field, and Chad's one of them. That was unfortunate last year with the blisters, for sure. That was a bummer because, he pitched very well in April. May he was fine. Then here come the blisters, and we just couldn't get a handle on it. He worked hard, to continue to build pitch count once he was out for a while, but the blisters were uphill battle.
Questions about Tyler Nevin.
Okay.
Have you known him most of his life?
I haven't personally.
Okay.
I've known Phil, right, for a long time. I knew that, Phil, had some children, right? Actually, his daughter worked in our athletic training room with the Padres. Tyler's older sister. So I knew her. She was an intern doing some work in our training room. But I'd heard of Tyler. I'd never met him. I think just naturally you sort of follow, youth sports in San Diego. And I once he got into high school, I knew he was on the radar, from a scouting side that, I tracked him a little bit, but I'd never personally met him.
So this spring is the first time?
Well, I met him last year. I met him a couple years ago when I got hired. I saw him in the weight room, but I don't. So this is really the first time that we've been, really, interacting.
What kind of impression is he making so far?
Well, he sort of picked up where he left off in the Arizona Fall League. He had a really good fall league. I saw 3 games in the fall. He played really well the 3 games that I saw. We follow all our players. He had a great fall league, and he looks, how he's moving around the field like he did in the AFL. Swinging the bat well, hit the ball well yesterday. He's got that all-field approach. He's got good plate discipline. He knows the strike zone. He's going to continue to get stronger. I think there's a lot of upside there. So we're excited about Tyler.
Fairly versatile, I guess, defensively, but do you see him sliding in most?
We're first and third. I mean, we're going to expose him there. I know that he's played only first here in spring, but he was as an amateur player, he was a third baseman. Played third base in the minors. He can do both. So, and you've heard me say multiple times that we're going to move guys around, but we'll see where it all ends up. I mean, he'll have opportunities, I'm sure, in the minor league to play both first and third.
And just what corner outfield?
I mean, we've talked about it. I don't know whether you'll see it this spring, but that's a discussion that we can we're going to have. Like we do with a lot of our guys. We're putting Mundell out there a little bit for practice, and he played last year in Double-A. I think a number of games out in left field. So we expose our guys because you don't know what's going to happen, but. Even with Mundell, Welker, some of our corner guys. I mean, Rogers is going to play third today. He's a shortstop. So we move our guys around.
I'm just looking at the non-roster invitees in general. It's a diverse mix. Can you talk a little bit just about the kinds of players you've got in that opportunity, ranging from veterans signing minor league contracts to a guy like Nevin?
Well,
prospects
I
like
think
us?
the non-roster guys, like you said, there's different, different paths of why they're in big league
Right.
camp. Saunders is a guy that has big league experience. He was an all-star one season. He wanted to be a Rocky, so here he is. Chichi Gonzalez, pitcher. We feel as though he could add depth. Guys who pitch in the big leagues, guys who are a little bit older. Fellas that because of a little bit of experience are, in our case, comforting in that regard that they've been there. They know their game. They're not awed by being here. But it's great for young guys like Boswell and Nevin and Welker. Some of these guys are in camp for the first time and rubbing shoulders with Nolan and Desmond and Charlie, Trevor. That's a great experience for them. So, and it's good to get them, exposed to a, major league spring training game, a major league clubhouse. A couple of these guys might go down to Mexico, get on a big league plane. All these things that you sort of check off boxes with, that sort of continue their growth to being a poised big leaguer, and where they can concentrate on just playing, and not be. I don't want to say distracted, but not be comfortable in an environment that they're not used to.
You
Sure.
mentioned talking about with Michael when I was chatting with him earlier this morning, how important it is, kind of his family. He lives outside of Denver, and that was one of his big things about why he wanted to be a Rocky for so long. Is that something that you kind of try to emphasize from the top down, the family importance for these ball players? Because you're out there for kind of 62.
Well, I think everything helps a player perform, but I think players all know that the most important thing is performing and contributing to a successful team. Players have motivations and desires for a lot of different reasons to sign certain places, but and that might have been part of his motivation to be a Rocky. I would like to think that he wanted to be a Rocky because of our organization and what we have going on. But Michael will be a guy that we're going to look at hard, to see what see what he can do this spring and see if it fits.
When you do the things with Blackman and with Nolan, obviously it's a reward for them, but do you think that serves as a little bit of a kind of a warrant or a statement to the younger players too, that the organization is willing to make long-term commitments?
Yeah. I think that's one of the most important things that I think for our young players to realize is that two very good veteran players, their motivation was to stay in this organization. And that sends a great message to, and I said it yesterday, to our players, our young players, like you mentioned, Tracy, let alone the fans and, people who are Rocky fans and, just internally in our organization, what this means to us. But, it's so profound and impactful that, these guys wanted to stay.
Also that you guys want to keep him. I mean, we'll
Exactly,
make that
yeah.
kind of a deal. I guess
Sure. Yeah.
That there is a carrot on that stick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think the expectation has changed? Can you notice with the players, and talking to several of them this morning, that it was, we hope we win, we expect to win, now it's, we know?
Yeah, I think that's,
That's simplified.
no, not at all. No, I think when there has to be a belief in who you are as a team. And that's one thing that I wanted to try to establish early. I didn't know how it was going to play out, right? But I mean, from the other side, I saw a good group of position players: Nolan, Trevor, DJ, Cargo, Desmond. you know, I saw this group of players and I said, hey, you know, this is a good group. I didn't know how we were going to pitch. I also knew that you got to pitch well to win. You just can't have good position players. You need a good pitching staff. I knew the team was going to play good defense because I saw that firsthand, and I saw it statistically, and I saw it in person. So then I did know about the pitching, but in 17, you know, the younger pitchers who got an opportunity, Freeland, Marquez, Sensatella, stepped up as big leaguers and helped us win. Greg Holland led the National League in saves. You know, our bullpen did a nice job. You know, we added Lou Croy. I mean, we did some nice things to really solidify the belief that we can win. And we nabbed a wild card spot. Going to last year, I think that the feeling was that we can do this again. You know, we've made some changes, which is the natural occurrence for most teams. There's always changes to be made. And again, we pitched well, and really we probably didn't hit as well as I think we're going to this year. You know, our offense was a little bit down, I thought. But we continued to pitch. We had another guy lead the National League in saves. Ottavino had a big year. Second half bullpen did a nice job. We stayed healthy on the mound, and you know, we played pretty consistent all year. So now the expectation is, yes, I mean we've come to that point where as a group and all players throughout, I think young players coming into this feel good about where we are. But every year's different. You know, I've said that to the guys that, hey, we got to go out and do it. It's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be, you know, anything's not going to be handed to us. You know, we got to go play against the Dodgers and the Mets and the Nationals and the Brewers, the Cubs, everybody. I mean, we got to play against these guys, and we got to do what we've done.
Just to follow up on that, is there a feeling now that playoffs are not enough?
Well, I mean, once you get to the playoffs, you want to continue. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's, you know, you ask any team that contends in all sports, you want to get there first, and then you go through that process. But, you know, at the end of the day, only one team's happy, right?
I was gonna say,
The Red Sox are the only team that's happy. You ask the other 9 playoff teams, they're disappointed that they didn't win the World Series, and that's how we feel. So, but we know the feeling, you know, how to get there. We know what it's like to be in there. Do we want to go? Yeah, we want to go all the way. But, you know, there's other teams. There's other teams trying to do the same thing now.
There you go. Wisconsin softball.
Yes. Yeah, they're here.
Oh, Lauren
The Wisconsin Badgers are in town. Softball team.
Foster.
Lauren Foster, the shortstop. They're off to a great start. They're ranked in the top 20. They're in here for a tournament. They'll be around the ballpark today. They're going to come out to Glendale, watch us play the Dodgers. Yeah, you'll see some girl softball players in and around the complex. You know, last year they were part of a morning meeting. This year they're not. They're doing their thing. But it's good to have the Badgers in.